Welcome back, all my loyal Irish patriots and nationalists alike. Today we have a video sent to me multiple times by Niamh O'Connor, okay, who is basically an Irish porno star. Okay, she puts up naked pictures of herself on OnlyFans. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but you know the network everybody, you can pay for, and then you pay €5 a month, and then they basically give you pictures and porno videos and things like that. So I think she retired from that a few years ago, and now she's just doing TikTok. She bought a house with that money, and now she's basically pontificating and talking to the Irish public about how she's Irish and Irish patriotism and basically like left-wing agendas. It's Irish patriotism. She thinks she's being an Irish patriot by saying these various things, but really she's just a part of the woke liberal left, the Marxist left. Okay, so I did react to this video yesterday, but I didn't do an in-depth review of it. Today we're gonna just break everything down, because I know you guys love these videos as much as me, as much as I love doing them. And she is part of the sort of influencer scene in Ireland, which is predominantly left-wing. They're bought and paid for. They get told what to say en masse. Their sponsors give them money. RTE, these big massive platforms sponsor these people to push their woke agendas, basically. So let's listen to this one. This one is about Irish immigration and stuff like that, and how you can change your ethnicity apparently. So let's listen to it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. Not that I even care what anything that she says, but it's just funny because she is a big influencer, and every single time an influencer puts out some bullshit, I am going to be reacting to it. Okay, just plain and simple, guys. Because I've just had enough in this country. This country has just gone to shit, and these people are just trying to further the bullshit even further. So let's hear it.
Guys, with all the negativity going on the internet at the moment, I just wanted to share something that always sticks with me, being an Irish person and being an Irish woman. Obviously, I know a lot about Irish history. We all know that. It's my hyperfixation. But our constitution states that you do not have to be ethnically Irish to actually be Irish. It states that. It states in our constitution that if you come here and you pledge allegiance to Ireland and you want to be Irish, then you're Irish. That it states that in our constitution. And I think that it is nobody's fucking business to take the words that were written by our freedom fighters, by our heroes, and skew them and throw them out the window and say, no, that's not the way it is. That's what was written by the people that fought for our freedom, and that is what I will stand by until the day that I die. There you go.
Okay, so from just listening to her, guys, she's obviously not very intelligent. No offense, she doesn't sound very intelligent whatsoever. But we're going to break down each and every argument. I must have missed that part of the Constitution where it says if you just come to Ireland and pledge allegiance to Ireland, then you're Irish. I must have missed that part. But anyways, guys, let's watch it again, and we'll just break down each sector. I just wanted to let you watch it to begin with. It is an absolute travesty that this person is even allowed a platform. I mean, I'm a freedom of speech guy. I think everyone should be allowed a platform. But everything she said in this 1-minute video is just so dumb beyond belief. So let's hear it.
As with all the negativity going on the internet at the moment, I just wanted to share something that always sticks with me.
So I don't think there's any negativity on the internet. Even that part she's wrong about. There's no negativity. The problem with the internet is, and it's a good thing actually, the problem with their left-wing agenda is that it's getting exposed now. Nobody is asleep to what's going on now. Everybody is awake to it. Like, if you talk to the average person now, they're like, oh yeah, we don't want that woke bullshit now in Ireland. We don't want this with a mass EU sort of bringing human trafficking ring put into Ireland. Like, everyone is so awake now, and the left and the media and the journalists can't handle that the internet, like X, is just exposing all the bullshit of the people on the left. So there's no hatred. It's just that their bullshit agendas are getting exposed, and they don't like that, guys. They don't like this sort of, their egos are so high, their egos are so big, they can't even understand one bit of criticism, honestly.
Being an Irish person and being an Irish woman.
She's an Irish person and an Irish woman. Did you just assume my gender? I wanted to be flipping a Chinese lesbian. Alright? Don't assume my gender, alright?
Obviously, I know a lot about Irish history. We all know that.
Obviously, I know a lot about Irish history. We all know that. Who the fuck knows that? Again, add her to the list of retarded people. Nobody knows that she is an Irish historian. Does she have a background in Irish history? Does she have a formal education? Does she have a PhD in, I don't know, Irish history? Like, what's her formal education, guys? You know? And not that you need that to be great or anything like that, but what's her background in Irish history? This is stupid. This is just dumb beyond belief.
My hyperfixation.
My hyperfixation. Wasn't her hyperfixation sucking off dudes on camera for €5? That was her hyperfixation as well.
But our constitution states that you do not have to be ethnically Irish to actually be Irish.
Okay, so the Constitution doesn't say that. Okay, what the Constitution actually says is, if you come to Ireland and you basically, naturalize yourself over the course of 5 or 6 years, you can get yourself a citizenship. Okay? But what she's pushing is a woke Marxist agenda. I'll explain how. There is a difference between being ethnically Irish with this pasty Irish skin and Celtic and whatever, guys. There's a difference between that ethnicity and becoming somebody from Ireland. You can anyone in the world, eventually, I don't, if you don't agree with that, I don't personally agree with it, but anyone in the world can come to Ireland and then over the course of 3 or 4 years, 5 years, become an Irish citizen. Even if you're Chinese, it doesn't really matter. But does that make you ethnically Irish? Does that make you attached to the land? It doesn't, guys. And this is the globalist agenda that they're pushing. The case in point is, you get a passport, but are you actually ethnically Irish, guys? And I'm not trying to say some sort of, you're better than somebody if you're whatever. That's a little bit like ethno-nationalism. But some people would say that. Like in Saudi Arabia, they say that. In the Middle East, if you're from flipping Abu Dhabi, if you're an Emirati, then you get way more rights than a foreigner coming in. And basically that's how it kind of should be in Ireland and these Western countries. But these Western countries are so cucked that we would never allow that, guys. We would never allow you to be put on a pedestal above foreigners, But in a regular nation like the Middle East, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, the Emiratis and the Saudis are far above the foreigners, guys. They get free houses, they get free healthcare, they get free money. That's how I would run the state. Because if the state is just going to flood people into the country, then there has to be sort of a divide between the Irish people and the fucking people that aren't. And you can actually become a Saudi citizen, but it takes 20 years. You have to learn Arabic. So in Ireland, we could do a system like that. Maybe it takes 20 years living here, plus you have to learn Irish fluently. Something like that, guys, if you're not ethnically Irish, right? So there has to be a sort of a criteria, a line in the sand that divides people, at a certain point. Unfortunately, I mean, that's kind of how it is, guys. Now, the path to citizenship in Ireland just states that all you have to do is live in Ireland for 5 years and pledge allegiance to the flag and the country. You go up to Dublin, you get into this big ceremony. Yeah, I've seen it countless times. They do it every 6 months in Dublin and in Kerry and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily make you Irish, guys. That just makes you from Ireland. Unfortunately, guys, I know a lot of people will not happy for me to say that, but that's just, there is a difference between ethnicity and, goddammit, being from somewhere else. I mean, at a certain point, guys, like if you get a Chinese person, they are going to be loyal to China as well as having Irish citizenship. Like they are, they're not going to be as loyal to Ireland as they are to their place. Like it just is what it is, guys. If you're born and raised here, now that's a little bit different. If you're raised here since young, there's certain things, but obviously, like I said again, ethnicity is far different than just getting a passport.
It states in our constitution that if you come here and you pledge allegiance to Ireland and you want to be Irish, then you're Irish. It states that in...
Yeah, so she's conflating two things, like I said. I don't want to harp on about it, but it doesn't make you Irish, it just makes you from Ireland. What makes you Irish is like the ancestry. If you have Mac in your name, if you have O in your name, O'Toole, O'Flaherty, McDonough, it's these things that they're actually tangible things that people hold on to preserve culture and heritage. But these woke lefties, they don't get it, guys. They don't understand. Like, there are people more Irish than certain other people. Like, my dad is Irish. Like, he's from here. He's lived there his whole life. It's okay to not be Irish and live here. It's okay, guys. If you're helping with the economy, if you're helping push these, these more, you know, conservative agendas, the agendas that I actually agree with. I don't really mind, guys, because it's more of a cultural thing. You know, a lot of people say, well, that's just hating on immigrants. I don't think so at all, guys. Polish people, you see a lot of people from Africa, they have the same sort of idea. You know, most of these people from Africa and China, I've never met anyone that doesn't agree with me on all these points, actually. It's only these white women, white, rich Irish men that disagree with me. Plain and simple. If you're rich, white, Irish, you disagree with the points of the, you know, middle class and lower class and working class people of Ireland. You know, it's more of a ideology rather than you know, an actual ethnicity, right? Okay, for me personally. But you know, like I said again, there is a huge difference between ethnicity and, god damn it, like you can't just come to Ireland and say you're Irish. That's bullshit, guys. That's not. I can't just go to China and say I'm Chinese. They just laugh at you. If you went to flipping Mongolia or Japan or Indonesia, they just start laughing at you, guys. You know, identity is a true thing in this world, and these globalists are trying to get rid of it.
Our constitution. And I think that it is nobody's fucking business to take the words that were written by our freedom fighters, by our heroes, and skew them. And
so nobody is skewing them. It's just that there is a differential. Again, she doesn't understand the difference between ethnicity and being an Irish citizen. Yeah, anyone can be an Irish citizen. Anyone can be a Chinese citizen. Anyone can be a Brazilian citizen. It's just that you have the ethnic heritage and the cultural attachment to the country. You know, my friend, he's a half German, half Irish. He really grilled me last night. He was explaining everything to me because I was kind of, you know, a little bit like, you know, not understanding exactly. But I understand now clearly, guys. There is a clear difference there. Like,
throw them out the window and say, no, that's not the way it is. That's what was written by the people that fought for our freedom, and that is what I will stand by until the day that I die.
So the Constitution wasn't just written by the people that died, like the founding fathers, like Michael Collins and shit like that, you know, Piggott and all these guys. Like, like it wasn't just written by these people, okay? It was flipping, or poor, what was it, Pierce? Like all these different people that wrote the Constitution. It gets amended. It's been amended countless times. So people in government now have actually amended the Constitution. They've changed it. So it's, you know, it's bullshit. It's like a worthless piece of paper. If it stayed the exact same from when the founding fathers wrote it, then it would be worth something, in my opinion. But because it's not, it doesn't matter shit, guys. It might as well be used as toilet paper. Because the Constitution, if it keeps changing, it's bullshit, guys. You know, the Constitution should stay the same. So at least for a while, at least for a few hundred years, you know, because I think it's still, you know, still relevant. You know, the Constitution was only written 100 years ago, so it's still pretty relevant. But let me know your thoughts on that. She, you know, I'm not sure exactly what she does anymore for money. You know, I think she's just like a TikToker and an influencer. She gets money from these different influencing brands. And, you know, they're globalists. Like, they want to push their own Marxist agendas. So, you know, it is what it is, guys. Let me know your thoughts. I love you all. If you want to help support me, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today. And I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.